Welcome to Flex Your Future, a TrustInEd original here on CAN TV 21. My name is Ranson Truss, founder and CEO of TrustInEd. Flex Your Future is a career and education series designed to give people honest insight into different career pathways, education options, and real-world outcomes so they can make informed decisions about their future. Each episode features conversations centered on clarity, purpose, and planning, because education works best when it's intentional. So, to find out a little bit more and know who I am an educator, career consultant, worked as a director of admissions for over 15 years in a college, university, worked as a teacher in inner city and the suburbs, CTE license, which is career and technical educator as well, and studying back in school myself for my master's in school counseling, second master's in school counseling with the licensed practical counselor. So I am here to kind of talk to you more about what TrustInEd and Flex Your Future. So how TrustInEd came about. TrustInEd, I worked as a director of admissions, and over time I would see many individuals struggle with trying to figure out what was the next step. Too often our students enroll without understanding what their career looks like, what the next step in life looks like. And pressured into going to school, as you all know, once you graduate high school, that's the first thing that people tell you. Hey, get your education, without really taking time to understand what that education looks like and what kind of career opportunities are available after they graduate. So TrustInEd was developed to slow the process down. Slow it down to really dive deep into understanding, once I graduate, what's next for me? And before we start talking about graduation, we need to understand, well, what are our goals? What is it that we see ourselves doing in the future? What kind of lifestyle do I want to have? Where do I want to live? What is my hobbies? What are my interests? What are my skills? So we really have to take time to start peeling back that onion to determine and identify our true talents and purposes. And that's where TrustInEd was built. It was built on a backbone of understanding who and what your purpose is. Flex Your Future is a stepping stone from TrustInEd. Flex Your Future was created as a TV series that we're watching now, and also inducted into schools and communities around the world. Flex Your Future is a course that individuals will take from 6th grade and up, helping individuals understand what kind of career pathways are out there, helping individuals understand more about social emotional learning, and definitely helping individuals understand more about financial literacy. We need to identify what our true passion is, but we also have to identify what steps we need to take in order to accomplish those goals. You have individuals say, hey, I want to become a doctor or nurse because they think that's the highest growth position. But there are so many different options that are available to you. And you hear a lot of times individuals struggle by their junior, senior year because they're already in a program that they find out they're not really interested in. You go into these careers or these educational pathways based off assumption, based off the cover of a book, but not really diving deep into understanding what kind of job duties will you have? What is the potential growth in that industry? What kind of lifestyle will you have when you graduate with that background? These are things that is really important, and the only way you can find out is by doing your research. And that's why TrustInEd was built to give individuals the opportunity to navigate online from their fingertips. Flex Your Future is a course that individuals will take to identify certain skills early on. So that way, Tommy, Jovan, Emily in school at 6th grade will have a better understanding of how to tie their career into the education. So if I'm taking math, right now we know there's a lot of issues with our students. You hear that there's a lot of issues with our kids. They suffer from scrolling or it's social media. We have all these issues, or we think these are the issues. But what if I was to tell you these kids struggle because they struggle with identity, like most human beings, like adults. They're searching for their identity, and because of, yes, social media, it pours it on pretty fast. They struggle with it early on, and they struggle and they don't know how to identify or how to deal with this situation, especially in the school, because the school is set up to test and pass, figure where you are, and move you right along. But if we are able to take time and develop an actual course that's not a math, English, or science, that's more geared towards identifying that student's purpose, by the time that student gets to 8th grade, now they're able to connect history with their career pathway. And now you have individuals sitting down in the classroom and focus and not disrupting the classroom. So this is one of the main reasons why TrustInEd was built. And this is one of the main reasons why Flex Your Future developed into a course. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take time to go through the website itself, so that way you can get an idea of how the website looks, and you will have a better understanding of how to communicate with students, teachers, and any adults looking to further their education. And you can then tell yourself or know what to do moving forward. So I'm gonna wait for the website to come up. And here is our homepage. And as you can see at the top, you have your degrees, certifications, here from Ed, paying for school, which is something that I'm going to get into. And then more, which is find a school, ACT, SAT prep for kids, who's hiring, so that way you can look into the different job market, meet the founder, which is me. Flex Your Future, this is for districts and schools looking to induct this into their curriculum. Blogs, and donate. So for individuals, and we always talk about exposure, for individuals that are unsure about what they want to do, I always tell students or individuals to just go to the website and just scroll. And we know that figurative, we know the wording scroll on social media, but why not scroll for investment? Scroll for investing into your future and really just come across what kind of careers are available. And what we want you to do is, by looking at this information, we want you to click on where it says find out more. And that way you can start to see what some job duties that I'm trying to accept, to get that out the way, what kind of job duties this career has, but most importantly, the education and training required for that career. Also, what is the pay for this industry? Not just the medium pay, but the beginning pay, right? Is this something that is substantial right when I graduate? And also the job projection. So we want to take time to really identify what options are available to us. And by doing so, gives you a better understanding of knowing what steps you need to take in order to accomplish that goal. So the website is something that's available to everyone out there. It's created for you and me. I know a lot of individuals struggle. We're going to start first with talking about adults. Adults struggle in silence. I don't want to claim the word pride, but it's fear, right? I don't know who to talk to about these things. I don't have an admissions counselor at the age 40 or 30 or 50 and 60. I don't have an advisor that I can go to. And if I don't come from an educational background, I don't know who to lean on. So I struggle in silence. And you have individuals that work these jobs that they're not really happy in, and they don't know what steps to make. They don't know how to change or how to pivot. And let me tell you, it's okay to pivot. The reason why you feel stuck is because you do not belong there. You're better than there. You evolved. That no longer fits you. You are now searching for your purpose. It's okay to be that way. It's okay to feel that way. And so creating a website where you are able to sit down and navigate through the different career options. There's over 250 different career options that are available to you. So now you have time and you have the resources at your fingertips. You don't have to worry about going to the public library or just Googling what are the top 10 positions, but you can see for yourself what these careers look like, and then you can search and find out more about the pay, the job duties, the job projection, and the education and training needed for that career. And this is something that we really should start taking advantage of, whether we have identified our purpose or we're still looking for what our purpose is. Because if you understand how to use the website or you understand the resources that are available to you, then you can also help somebody else out. So I talk to these adults and I let you know that it is okay to pivot. It is okay to pivot because you're trying to figure it out. I would rather you try to figure it out for free by looking at the website than going and wasting time in a career that you do not feel accomplished. You do not feel complete. And also, someone is also paying attention to you. So it starts with us. To our middle adults, for the individuals that are coming out of college, to really understand, now that you have your education, whether it's college, trade, military, now that you have that specific job background, what other careers are you able to get into? Too many times we think that just with a degree in psychology, I have to become a therapist, but there's so many different routes you can get into. Social worker, working with kids or the youth. There's a position within daycare that will require your background, that unique skill that you have. And so when you look at the website to really identify my career, my background, my educational background, the training that I have accomplished or obtained, what other career opportunities can I get into? So this is also for you, even if you already have your degree. For those individuals that have a degree or, again, have a specific trade, not everyone needs to have a degree to be successful in life. And I preach this. Education is not for everyone. I'm sorry, a degree is not for everyone, but some form of education is needed in order for you to accomplish your goals. And that's truth. Whether you open up a company, you may not need a bachelor's degree in business, but you may need to learn how to manage and run a business. You may need to learn about marketing. You may need to learn about people skills, communication, human resources. You plan on hiring people. There's so much that goes into just getting a degree in business or a background or education in business. They touch on so many different things, and that's why hence the term business and entrepreneurship. So for those individuals that do have their education, whether again, trade, training, or a degree, I would highly recommend that you go to the website and look at the different careers that you can get into with that form of education that you have. And also being able to help other individuals out in your area. So you may not want to get your degree, or you may not, you may feel like, hey, I don't want to. What about the next person? We talk about being helping individuals, right? Too many times you hear the word crab or term, crab in a barrel. When are we going to start lifting one another up? And what does that really look like to lift one another up? And so sharing information is important. So like I mentioned, I work as a teacher. I'm not going to say the district that I work for, but I was just talking to an individual that been in a teaching position for 3 years and not receiving the pay and also the time off because of a missing credentials. And I got to be mindful because this is that person's information, right? So bear with me as I try to bite my tongue to be respectful. I could have just said, hey, stick it out, right? You'll be fine. You have a passion for this. But this person did not know that there's other ways to get your teaching license. So in Illinois, typically individuals need a PEL, which is a professional licensed educator. You can also become a teacher by getting your CTE, which is a career and technical educator. A lot of people don't know about that. So if you already have your degree and you don't want to go back to school to get a teaching license, you can get your CTE. Now, the process of getting a CTE depends on your background. So you have to understand, you have to have a certain skill in a particular area. For me, my skill was programming. I programmed our website. I'm the one that created the website. Thank you, God. I'm the one that created the website. So I had a lot of HTML, JavaScript, and C++ to help me with this process. I also use other resources that came about as well. So I was able to use my portfolio to get that credentials of being able to teach from 5th grade to high school or in high school with a bachelor, with a programming computer science, programming, network management, and so on. I also am licensed to teach marketing and business and entrepreneurship. Why? Because I market TrustInEd. I also took the course, I have the degree, a master's degree in project management, but this is my portfolio, my skills. I utilize my skills to then grab a credential and utilize those credentials to then be able to teach. And now I am a teacher. And so I've been teaching for now a year and a half. I also work with After School Matters, which is a program that's geared towards learning and earning at the same time. And we get to take kids on college visits, which is exposure. And what I come across are individuals that are unsure about what they want to get into. And when you go to these colleges, number one, it's a beautiful thing to be exposed to these schools. It's a great thing for our culture, for everyone. But you have to identify what you want to do in life. And we put the expectations, and let me kind of slow down for a second and really talk to you. We put the expectations on seniors, and I'm also going to say eighth graders to figure it out on something they've never been exposed to. And what I mean by that is, if someone told you how to swim, you think you know how to swim until somebody drop you in the water, right? How do we expect an eighth grader or a high school student, a senior, to figure out what career that they want to go into and they never worked in it? They never stepped a foot in that industry. So of course, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Department of Education, rather, over 70% of college students change their majors within the first 3 years. 70% of college students. It's inevitable, right? Change their majors within the first 3 years. That's not even counting the people that just drop out. And why do you think so? Because they get into a program and realize this is not what I want to do. And instead of just continuing to waste dollars and money, I need to take a step back. And sometimes you have those individuals that don't want to go back. And then you have individuals that just can't afford to go back because they now have to pay back on those student loans and they don't have the education to get the job that they was intended to get. So we want to stop that process. We want to slow it down. This is the purpose of TrustInEd. And when I said eighth graders, I was sitting in my classroom. I got to be mindful. But we have eighth graders typically are able to select their career choice for high school. And I can't think of the term, but it's their major. We're going to say a major. In high school, you have a major that you're able to take on. So eighth grade are able to select I think it's maybe 4 to 5, depending on the high school they're looking to go to. They're able to select what kind of major they want to major in high school. We're expecting the eighth grader who knows nothing but TikTok to identify their career? How so? How would that work? That's not even working for adults. So at what point are we going to say, you know what, let's do better? Now, here's the thing. There are schools, districts. The district that I work for is trying really hard to educate these individuals. But when you don't have a set curriculum in place, then it kind of falls by the wayside, because here's the issue that you run into. If it's not a curriculum, it becomes an extra resource. And if it's an extra resource, we already understand that teachers already have so much on their plates. They already have to teach the subject. We're going to say science for right now. You already have to teach science to the kids. You have to create the lesson plan for the kids. You got to get them prepared, and then you have to ship them on, right? You got to ship them out. You got to get them ready. And I'm sorry, this is the word I was missing. Testing, right? They got to test and then complete certain assignments by a certain time frame and then move on. So it's not part of the culture. Career pathway is not part of the culture. And that's where we're running into. That's the issue that we're running into. And if we're able to turn Flex Your Future into a curriculum, which it has been, it is now a curriculum, waiting for approval to come into your districts and the schools to be taught to sixth graders. And I recommend starting off at the sixth grade level and then working its way up. Then you now have individuals that are more prepared to make those decisions when they get to junior, senior year. We are trying to slow the process down so that way we can produce great products. And our kids are products of our environment, literally. So this is the purpose of Flex Your Future. This is the purpose of TrustInEd. What I did is I thought really hard on how can I make an impact? What can I do where everyone can access it? It's at your fingertips. And this is the best solution. Whether you're looking at TrustInEd as the website, also understanding more about the AI bot that's on TrustInEd, to be able to communicate and ask questions for guidance. So we don't just offer career exposure, we offer career guidance. So on the website TrustInEd, there's an AI bot that you can talk to and chat back and forth with. And you can also watch videos to listen and get a better understanding of you. Our goal is for you to identify your interests, your skills, your values, the lifestyle expectations, and goals. Once you identify those things, now you're able to sit back and say, how does that relate to a real career? What kind of career really aligns with my goals, interests, values, skills, and lifestyle expectations? Because when we start thinking like that, when we start to move like that, we're able to make better choices. Confidence is key. Confidence goes beyond the classroom. Confidence is in life. You can put someone with confidence in front of a room and he not have no idea why that person is there, but because of the confidence that they have, they'll sell that room. So if you have an individual that have confidence in their decision, they move with purpose. And that's what we're trying to do. Trying to get everyone to move with purpose. Do you understand that if you have purpose in life, that correlates with behavior issues? If we were to train, educate our youth that are on the corners or running around in the city, if we were to show them and help them understand and identify their purpose, that may lower crime rates for the youth. If I don't understand why I'm here, I don't understand my purpose, I'm just winging it. And I'm winging it because I have no clue and I have no guidance. So we understand, and I will tell you right now, yes, as a teacher, as an educator, I do a parent-teacher conference, and not all parents are involved. So we understand that, right? We know that all parents may not be involved as they should be. So what's the solution? I'm tired of hearing about it. What is the solution to the problem? Well, we know that these kids got to go to school. Ding, ding, ding. Let's get them in school. Well, how do we get them in school? What I mean by how do we get them in school, no, not physically in school. How do we get them mentally in school? How do we get their mind on education? And I'm not saying that everyone has to become a rocket scientist, but understanding what kind of skills you have and aligning that with your next career path is highly important, and it allows that kid to move with confidence. So why are we not putting this in the school districts right now? I'll wait. We talk about why is people not doing X, Y, and Z. Technology is now at our fingertips. Forgive me for getting passionate. Technology is at our fingertips, and we have to do a better job utilizing that technology. And social media is a blessing because, again, it allows this message to get passed along. And I hope that everyone pass this information along. So, kind of talk about what to expect moving forward. So we have an amazing show the second month, or the second Monday of each month. Second Monday of each month. And we're going to have guest speakers on our show, individuals from different industries. So I got to wrap up. So thank you for joining us on Flex Your Future. To learn more about career pathways, education options, it's important to go to our website and the Flex Your Future courses. Visit TrustInEd.org. Join us next time as we continue exploring real careers, real experiences, and real pathway forward. I'm Ranson Truss, founder of TrustInEd, and this is Flex Your Future.